PAGODCAST!
Ay mga te, napansin nyo ba, throughout these days, medyo maraming pinapagawa.
Ay, oo. Akala ko ako lang nakaramdam, te. Feel ko nga medyo naging unproductive na ako lately. You know, because of the overwhelming work. Nakakaloka.
Sa true lang, pero hindi naman all the time, di ba, unproductive ka? Eh, Josa, like you could never. Paano mo nga ba nasasabing productive ka? Like, how do you say to yourself, hala, ang productive ko today?
Ako naman, masasabi kong productive ako kapag nasusunod ko yung schedule ko. You know, waking up at 6 a.m. to eat and take a bath before classes, doing as many work as I can during the day, and sleeping at 10 p.m. Of fact, 8 hours of sleep, kaya nyo yun.
Para sa akin naman, productive na ako pag napatulog ko ng mahiwagang panda or kaya iisa na lang yung task na nasa to-do.
Pagod ka na ba?
Oo eh. Paano yan, te? Pagod na rin ako. Anong gagawin natin yan?
Problema ba dyan? Di sama-sama tayong mapagod kasama ang ating mga host na sina...
Althea.
Hello po.
Mauren.
Hello.
Justin.
Hello.
Dito sa bago niyong paboritong show tuwing Biyernes ng gabi, ito ang... PAGODCAST!
Alright. Welcome sa bagong episode ng SSG PAGODCAST, where we talk about the relevant issues surrounding students, especially us Valnasians. Ako si Mauren na nagpe-preach on productivity pero laging nagpupuyat. At syempre, hindi ako nag-iisa.
Ako naman, ang chikadorong TikToker na laging may hatid na tea para sa'yo. Ako, si Justin.
Siyempre, di magpapahuli. Ako ang unkabagable Johnson na laging nandito para sa'yo. Nax, ako si Althea.
Ay mga te, napansin nyo ba, throughout these days, medyo maraming pinapagawa.
Ay, oo. Akala ko ako lang nakaramdam, te. Feel ko nga medyo naging unproductive na ako lately. You know, because of the overwhelming work. Nakakaloka.
Sa true lang, pero hindi naman all the time, di ba, unproductive ka? Eh, Josa, like you could never. Paano mo nga ba nasasabing productive ka? Like, how do you say to yourself, hala, ang productive ko today?
Nasabi kong productive ako kapag natapos ko na yun lahat ng activities na binigay for the day. Kapag hindi ako na-distract at focus lang talaga ako sa paggawa ng activities.
Right. Ako naman, masasabi kong productive ako kapag nasusunod ko yung schedule ko. You know, waking up at 6 a.m. to eat and take a bath before classes, doing as many work as I can during the day, and sleeping at 10 p.m. Of fact, 8 hours of sleep, kaya nyo yun.
Para sa akin naman, productive na ako pag napatulog ko ng mahiwagang panda or kaya iisa na lang yung task na nasa to-do.
Yeah, pero kahit may mga days na alam nating ang sipag-sipag natin, hindi mapagkakailan talagang may mga oras na sobrang tamad rin natin, na sobrang demotivated, super unproductive.
Yes, Ate Mau, hindi talaga may iwasan yan sa student life. Kaya this episode, pag-uusapan natin ang tungkol sa productivity. Maaaring isipin nyo, hala, bakit naman ganun ang title? Ang negative naman ata. Sa true lang, naisip rin namin yan. Pero we want to focus on the reasons kung bakit nga ba tayo unproductive. Let's focus muna on the root cause of the problem in order to turn negative into positive. Absolute value yarn.
Yes, anyway, bakit nga ba nangyayari to?
Bakit ka unproductive? Bakit tayo unproductive?
Well, sa akin kasi, nagiging unproductive ako pag kunyari, nagawa ako ng schoolworks. And then suddenly, may magno-notif sa'yo na message. Tapos tuloy-tuloy na yon hanggang mapunta na ako sa FB and TikTok. Tapos di ko magagawa yung schoolworks ko.
Yes, I relate. For me, my unproductive behaviors are that I come unprepared to class. You know, my video lessons na pinrovide, and I end up not watching them, so wala akong alam sa pinag-uusapan nila kinaumagahan. I miss a lot of deadlines too. Reasons ko, tinutulugan, nakakalimutan, or di talaga kaya. And a lot of times, di ako nakakapag-review for quizzes, kaya itlog na kuha ko. The main reason, hindi nasusunod schedule na I set for myself. Masyadong nai-invest sa ibang bagay like video essays sa YouTube, nalulungkot talaga ako kapag planado na araw ko tapos hindi nasusunod yung plano. Distractions talaga ang reasons. Sorry guys, nakikisabay yung mga aso eh.
Okay lang yan natin. Pero una kasi dyan yung temptation na, uy, saglit lang naman, check mo lang naman yung ano, deserve mo naman to. Tapos nauwi sa ilang oras, kaya nawawalan ng time sa paggawa ng activities.
Oh, so halata. Halos lahat tayo may distraction issues.
Well, to be real, hindi naman talaga lahat ng reasons and experiences natin ay experiences rin ng ating fellow students. So, we took the time to deeply research talaga sa mga actual problems na nararanasan ng mga students. Mga problems na hindi madalas mapagtuunan ng pansin, especially in the pandemic.
So guys, teka lang, while I speak, I have background music. Kunwari, ambient music yan. So, to define productivity is the measure of the efficiency of a person completing a task. Needless to say, there are many factors that affect our efficiency to get work done. So, unahin natin ang mga issues involving truly hardworking students talaga. But due to lack of privilege, ay nababawasan ang productivity. Firstly, the struggle in adaptability. Switching from the traditional classroom to the virtual setup made the learning experience completely different. There are students up to this point na nahihirapang gamitin ang kanilang devices. May mga students na hindi techie, may mga students na madalas mag-breakdown ng devices, may mga students na hirap sa mga gamit nilang devices. Perhaps they're outdated. Online classes come easy for some because kompleto ang kanilang equipment. They've got this beautiful setup, may printer at home for easy viewing of notes and the like. Pero it's not all naman, di ba? Not all has the privilege. Nakakabawas talaga ng efficiency ang lack of materials at home. Minsan nga mapapaisip ka kung may ganito ako, tulad ni siguro mapapadali ang trabaho ko. Second general problem kung bakit unproductive ay perfectionism. Napiyok. It's verified in science, in psychology, You're given work and we want the outcome to be amazing, fantastic, flawless. Procrastination is bad. We all know that. But perfectionism is fine, right? Wrong. These two are recipes for disaster. So, paano nga ba nagkukos ng unproductivity ang perfectionism? Unang-una, perfectionists often tend to focus on the product instead of the process. They tend to work themselves up just for the project to appear perfect. They can also never be satisfied na napupunta sa point na they believe there's always more to do. There's always something to improve, that they end up passing whatever they've done when the deadline comes. This unreasonable striving for perfection stems from attempts to preserve a sense of self-worth that hinges on the expectations of others. And procrastination, the act of delaying or putting off the work until the last minute, it's a symptom of perfectionism because people who practice this act fear being unable to complete a task perfectly. They put it off as long as possible because of the fear of not meeting the goal. And when they think that they did not reach the goal, they will feel unworthy and not good enough. Hindi sapat. They did their best, but to them, it is never enough.
Tama, Ate Mau. Alam nyo, for me naman, isa sa mga general problems na nagkukos ng unproductivity ay yung overthinking. I believe very relatable to, especially for Balmasay students. We tend to think kasi na dahil nga nasa isang prestigious school tayo, meron tayong inaabot na standards. Because of this, sa bawat paggawa natin ng mga activities, performance tasks, or outputs, may isip talaga natin kung, okay na ba to? What if hindi sapat yung pinasa ko? Baka hindi maganda yung gawa ko. O what if hindi pasok sa standards nila Ma'am Sir ang gawa ko? At sa tuwing nangyayari ito, hindi ka na-focus sa dapat mong i-accomplish ngayong araw. Ang ending, wala kang napapasa. Warla, nagkaroon ka pa ng missing te. Second naman, ang feeling completely overwhelmed sa mga visions or plans mo for future. Ito yun mga te. Pag may binigay ngang gawain, di ba? Sila Ma'am Sir, syempre paplanuin mo kung kailan mo yung gagawin. Gagawa ka ng to-do list mo. May isi-set ka pang time or date para gawin yung mismo activity na yon. Kadalasan, pag dumating yun na yung araw na sinet mo na yon, mau-overwhelm ka. Iisipin mo, kesyo, ang daming schoolworks na gagawin. Baka utusan ka ng mama mo, tapos hindi mo matuloy yung plano mong gawin. Iyang thought na yan na pagpigil sa'yo sa pagiging productive. Tatama rin ka, and hindi mo na gagawin yung dapat mong gawin kasi hindi na nakaayon sa plano.
Oo, agree ako. Sa akin naman kasi, feel ko factor din na nagkakos ng unproductivity yung dahil sa multitasking. We tend to multitask kapag iniipon natin yung activities, which is common na ginagawa ng mga students like us. Kapag kasi naiipon na yung activities sa wait lang, mamaya na lang na linya natin kapag tinatamad na tayo, we won't have enough time to do everything. So we just try to multitask them. However, madalas na hindi tayo nagsasucceed sa paggawa nun. So merong mga activities na hindi na natin natatapos. Isa sa reasons bakit hindi na natin natatapos dahil nga sobrang dami na. Especially kung puro modules yan, nakuti, nakakatamad na talaga tapusin. Nakaka-distract din kasi hindi tayo mapag-focus sa iisang bagay lang. So ang ending lahat na simulan natin pero wala tayong natapos. Secondly, hindi mawawala sa general problems is yung lack of discipline. Like for example, you are aware naman of what you need to do and what time you do, pero you still choose to do your games instead of the activities. So at the end of the day, makakalimutan mo na may ipapasa ka pa palang activities. Mahirap din kasi i-build yung discipline lalo na kung hindi mo yun kinasanayan, since kailangan talaga nun may time, effort para mahubog tayo dun sa ganong setup. And third and last na aking sasabihin is yung pagiging unmotivated. When we feel unmotivated, we do not have the energy or capacity to continue doing it pa. Kasi we think na wala naman ng reason para gawin pa natin yung activities kasi there's no one to support and cheer us along the way. So we feel frustrated kasi wala din naman tayong inspiration habang gumagawa ng activities. Naiisip natin na ano pa ba yung halaga ng paggawa nito? Bakit ko pa ba ito ginagawa? Kaya ang ending, di na lang natin talaga ginagawa. Ngayon, at napag-usapan na natin ang general problems and root ng ating pagiging tamad, demotivated, unproductive, HNS, we're here to shed some light to the issue naman.
Tama. Welcome to the Payo segment kung saan magbibigay kami ng aming personal tips and tricks to enhance your daily student life. Huwag kayong maglala. Ni-research namin ito ng bongga.
Alright, on to our first issue, which is the struggle to adapt and the lack of resources. Ang main issue in trying to adapt is that the people who used to be beside you during face-to-face classes are no longer there. Well, the way I adapted to this is to simply communicate. Me and my friends form group chats. Madalas kami nagko-call if we need to. We have movie nights. We play games like Roblox or Minecraft. And we keep the communication alive talaga. Friends will really help you to see the light. And with this happiness comes hope that everything is turning back to normal again, which is true. Very soon, magpe-face-to-face na ulit and we will have trouble adapting again. But it's okay because you've done it before, right? You've adapted, you overcame the challenges, and now you're back on track with friends beside you. Now, in adapting also comes accepting what we have and don't have. It's natural that we don't own what someone else owns, and that's okay. What truly makes us unique, what makes us smart, is the ability to make out the best of what we have. And if it is impossible, it's okay. We have to use the power of communication. If we lack materials and resources, we can always communicate that to our instructors or teachers. All of us are struggling, and I assure you that they will be understanding towards you. Regarding the second issue correlating to perfectionism, let me tell you something. Let me bust your bubble. Perfection does not exist. Perfection simply does not exist. Without imperfection, neither you nor I would exist. That's according to Stephen Hawking. Perfection is not possible because it creates more pain than joy, more confusion than calm, more angst than creative production. We should not be forced to the mindset na pag mas marami tayong gagawin, mas magiging less insecure, less afraid, less anxious, and less depressed. Instead of the fantasy and unreal concept of perfection, let's accept the reality that we're not perfect, and neither is our work, and that's okay. Let's learn to be more content with what we have and what we can do. I learned this the hard way because in grade 8, I used to be a perfectionist. I wouldn't stop until it reached my standards of perfections to the point na nakukompromise ang aking health. And then I realized I took too much time trying to perfect that one project that I compromised a lot more important factors of my life. So now I am already a grade 9 student. I've learned my lesson. When my work has reached the criteria, everything is neat. I know myself that I've exerted a ton of effort and I ate on time. I stop and I submit. It isn't perfect. It's okay. But you know what it is? It's beautiful. It's spectacular. It's amazing. And that's enough. I am contented with the fact that I did my best. Now, do you think that it ends there? Definitely not. I would like to share my experiences that might help you. In regards to time management, I use the application Notion to keep track of all of my assignments, quizzes, and the like. Now, Justin and Althea, what do you use for your time management ba?
Ako nagre-rely lang talaga ako sa Canvas to-do list kasi parang doon ko na rin nakikita lahat ng mga ganap sa school eh.
Ikaw ba, Althea?
Nandun na kasi lahat. Pero sa akin naman, ang ginagawa ko is kapag sinasabi na tinutry ko talaga siyang isulat o kaya kung may na-miss man ako, titignan ko sa Canvas, tapos talagang i-double check, triple check ko siya, tapos saka ko siya kokopyahin. Kasi feeling ko mas naiintindihan ko siya, mas naaalala ko kapag sinusulat ko.
Sige, tignan natin kung sino ang mas efficient sa inyong dalawa, no? So, after class, pagkatapos mag-announce ng to be past work, I immediately put it on my to-do list para kung sakaling hindi lalabas sa dashboard, ay alam ko. So, Justin, alam mo na, dapat gumawa ka ng sarili mo to-do list kasi hindi lahat ng teachers naglalagay sa dashboard.
Tama.
Now,
Noted,
I admit,
dati.
totoo, ganyan dapat makinig ka ha. Now, I admit I was a really slacky student. Not until recently, since the start of the third quarter, I started relying on consistency instead of motivation. Motivation can only last for so long. What can truly motivate you is to act consistently. I started to read articles about time management, inability to sleep, and how to solve that. After, I put up a consistent schedule every day during the weekdays. When you have a wretched sleep schedule, I adjust very slowly. In my experience, I used to sleep around 12 a.m. to 2 a.m., but now I sleep at 10 p.m. and kept up with that pace every day. I wake up at 6 a.m. before classes, 8, take a bath, because I feel really icky when I go to classes without a bath. And I don't really advise taking a bath after a long day of hard work. It might cause fatigue. I would be really active in class and nail every recitation that way. After class, I do my work. Then if I want to take a nap, it'll only last for 20 minutes. It's hooked to science, trust me. 20-minute naps are very effective. Then after finishing off work, I sleep at 10 p.m. But of course, not all the time would it be consistent because of certain circumstances, and that's okay. What's important is that we strive to keep on track. Also, additional study tips lang, marami akong keme. Keep an MS Word open next to your Google Meet or Zoom meeting and take a screenshot of the PowerPoint presentation and copy-paste mo doon sa MS Word, then crop. Pero kung hindi kung hindi nag-upload sila ma'am sir ng PPTs, you can always have a copy. Also, one work at a time lang, so hindi tayo nararattle.
Yeah, may two things naman ako na mapapayo sa mga fellow students ko na nagsistruggle naman in terms of time. I highly suggest na i-practice na lang ang time management because studies have shown that effective time management can have a positive impact on your work. Even though di naman ako gaano gumagawa ng to-do list, I always keep my schedule on top of my head. Kasi para sa akin, mas madali sundan yung schedule na nasa utak instead of writing it down kasi hindi ko naman yun lagi nasusundan. Isa pang masasuggest ko is yung pag-lessen ng leisure time. It's fine na magkaroon ng leisure time, but we need to lessen the time so we can have more time on doing our schoolworks and mas makaka-focus pa tayo sa school.
Ay, ako din. Agree ako sa sinabi mo. Pero may dalawang payo din ako na sasabihin sa inyo. Una dyan is you have to remember to create an environment that encourages focused work. Dapat yung paligid mo is yung alam mong makakagawa ka. But at the same time, comfortable ka pa din. Lumayo ka sa mga maiingay, nagpupukpukan, tapos yung mga bagay na alam mong makakapag-distract sa'yo kapag ginawa mo yan, sureball talaga ako makakatulong yan para mapataas pa yung productivity mo. Second is to sleep early, wake up early. Bukod kasi sa nakakatulong sa'yo para mas maging productive tayo, mas nakakapagbuti din siya ng health natin. Super dali lang sabihin, pero mahirap siya actually gawin. Kapag talagang nasanay ka na di mo ginagawa. Sobrang natamaan ako kasi personally, before ang habit ko is matulog na madaling araw. Tapos alam ko naman na may pasok kinabukasan, may gagawin ako. So, ang ending, edi papikit-pikit ako habang klase. Tapos wala na akong maintindihan sa tinuturo. Like, lutang ako, ganon. Wag mo nang antayin na bumaba pa yung grades mo bago mo ma-realize na, ay, kailangan ko na itong baguhin kasi hindi na siya healthy for you. So, ngayon, ako naman, paunti-unti ko na siya tinatry baguhin. Mahirap, pero kakayanin. Kaya, besties, this is the sign, okay? Totohanin mo na yung New Year's resolution mo na magbabagong buhay ka na. And I believe you, okay? I believe kaya mo to.
Yan, thank you so much for your advices. Now, nais bang malaman ng audience kung ano ang ganap sa productive life natin? Well, dapat lang. Kami ang main characters dito. Let's go sa ating fast talk na boy abunda.
Okay. First question sa ating list, kunwari, hindi script. What time ka natutulog?
10 p.m.
10 p.m.
11 p.m. Ano ang pinaka-effective na technique to avoid procrastination para sa'yo?
Scheduling.
Limiting distractions.
Time management ang akin. Gumagawa ka ba ng schedule or to-do list?
Yes.
No!
Yes. Ano ang routine mo during school hours?
Wake up at 6, eat breakfast prepared by Papa, take a bath, prepare for classes, take notes, proceed to schoolwork, sleep at 10 p.m.
Ako naman, after asynchronous, gagawin ko muna yung mga activities na malapit na yung due, then tulog. Or pag wala talaga tulog agad, para break na rin, diba?
Masarap matulog.
Oo,
True.
Super. After online test naman ako, isi-check ko if may mga need activities, then gagawin ko. Pero may mga 5 to 10 minutes in between. Break kada matatapos para makapagpahinga din yung eyes kahit saglit lang. Okay, next. Anong pina-prioritize mo gawin sa araw-araw?
Help school extracurricular activities.
Ako naman gumawa ng schoolworks.
Ako pina-prioritize ko na mabalance ang time for school and leisure.
Okay, thank you so much to our sponsors. Thank you for your answer sa ating fast talk. Okay, ang dami na natin na pag-usapan We really hope na naging boses nyo kabe about sa inyong mga problems regarding productivity. Mahirap talagang ma-achieve yan. Now, what do we have to say for our closing remarks and final advice?
So ako mauuna, ang aking final advice is to do your best in everything you do. Gagawin mo na lang din, ayusin mo na. It doesn't really matter kung perfect yan o hindi. As long as you're learning, then you're doing a great job. Kaya I'm telling you, you can do this.
Ako naman, it's good na matapos mo ang lahat ng activities agad-agad. Pero you should take a break also. Tao ka and hindi ka robot para di tumigil sa paggawa. Yun lang.
My final advice is like what Justin and Althea just said. Take a rest. It's good for you. Don't feel afraid of leisure, but don't do it too much, okay? Also, perfection is an illusion and imperfection is the real deal. Lastly, consistency over motivation. Yun lang, mga bata.
Ayan. Bago natin i-end ang today's episode, nais lamang namin magpasalamat so much sa ating mga sponsors. Thank you sa mga fellow SSG officers natin dyan na walang sawang nagtutulungan para ma-push tong PAGODCAST. Thank you rin kay Ma'am Eds na siyang nag-help sa amin i-push tong event na ito. And syempre, thank you kay Sir James sa pag-approve ng project na ito.
Okay, so yan na muli. Ito ang super uncabogable 1, 2, 3. PAGODCAST!
Bye-bye!
Bye!